Alright, welcome back. This is the last part with no audio before I noticed that I had audio. I'm kind of sad and disappointed in myself that I didn't notice sooner because, I think this was one of the better parts, because I was exploring a little bit. I was, I actually had stuff to talk about with live commentary in this, and then, and then I didn't, so. Oh, how it happens. But, I don't know why I was checking. I think I was trying to figure out how much, I had, but it doesn't update until you pull the thing, and I didn't realize that then. I think I'm trying to figure out how many I need. See, it updated from 100 to 120. Also, it hasn't blown a fuse. But I guess it's working just without a fuse. This has got me a little confused. I was like, am I getting free power? I don't know. Anyways, last part. It's been kind of a crazy little tangent ride. So I still look at this stuff baffled. Cause like I do get a spike every so often where it's like more connections. So I'm not sure. But I don't know, part of me kind of wanted to talk about Heroes of Might and Magic some more, but I guess I can talk about other games that are going to be coming to my channel soon. Now that all these non-commentated recordings have commentation to them, I'm going to start editing up and bringing Project Zomboid to my YouTube channel. I feel like I have a kind of a cool way of setting it up, of making it. Dumb bird was in the way. Made me think I couldn't build right next to him. Each one of those fits perfectly onto a square, so it made me think that I couldn't do it because that stupid bird was there. But I have a cool little way. I think I'm going to bring Project Zomboid to my YouTube channel. I just have to edit it up that way, and then there it is again. There's that split. But at least I don't know. I think I'd rather have the delete split thing happen more than that than that other sound bug that I was having. But I digress. Main thing is that getting past it. It's gonna be done, and then I can upload these 4, and then I can upload the rest of I don't know. This is like episode 14, I believe, and I have episode 60 something now, so I have plenty of footage to work through. Plenty. Can't believe I'm pretty much using up all of the biofuel I made. And the entire area that I cleared out right here and that other area entirely only made like a little bit of fuel. Just kind of surprising. I think it would make a little bit more than that, but that is what it is. But yeah, so Zomboid's coming. Again, once I'm done with this commentating. See, it's just this commentation, this post-commentating that I need to get done, and then I can actually start to get into other things, because then I can upload all of my Satisfactory, which will then, have stuff for you guys consistently, I want to say, throughout, like, January, that's not, like, overstating anything. I'm pretty sure my stuff will reach all the way into January before I run out of Satisfactory stuff and or need to record more. So that will be fun. I'm also thinking about bringing Vampire. It was a game back in the day. It's kind of like a Souls-like game in a sense, where you're a doctor who gets bitten by a vampire, becomes a vampire, and then you have to struggle through the game because really the only way that you can level up or become stronger is by eating your patients, right? So it's like a mix. You could sit there and you could eat all of your patients right away, but then I think you'll be marked as like a murderer because people won't trust your medical expertise and stuff like that. Or you can go through the game at less of an OP level, but have patience, and like you can. I think the way it is eventually you can either just like solve. I guess that wasn't all of the biofuel. It was just some of it. Because in there's like another 4 stacks, which is nice. But I think in the game you can either cure your patients, which will bring in even more patients, kind of a thing, or you could eat them and get stronger, but then you won't get any new patients because then people will be like, why are you going to go to that doctor? He's just going to kill you. And I think he's a vampire, kind of a thing. So it's like a balance. It's a balance between making sure some people get cured and some people don't get cured. And so you have to take like an interest in your patients and figure out who's going to be more terminally ill, more or less, and eat them, because then it's like, oh well, the sickness took them out. And when they're going to die, kind of figure out when they're going to go, because then that way you can kind of be like, well, the cancer has reached its lungs. It's not going to last more than a week. And then sometime randomly in the week, you just eat them and be like, oh, the cancer got to him, kind of a thing. But, yeah, I think that would be a fun game. That will be at least a like story-based game with like a start and an end to the campaign. A campaign-based game. Like Satisfactory is more of a sandbox kind of game. Project Zomboid is more of a sandbox kind of game, because it's like Zomboid is like a sandbox roguelike in a sense. It's not like procedurally generated where everything's different constantly. You have a couple different points you can spawn in, and there's definitely maps you can get from the community to add variety to your game. But ultimately, it's just the one map with different spawn locations, and you can find different loot. And so it kind of makes it like a roguelike more than anything else, like a sandbox roguelike, because you can do whatever you want. You can freely build, you can do all kinds of things without... There is like no end. There's no like military compound that you're trying to get to. You're just surviving. You're just surviving in a zombie apocalypse for as long as you can, in a sense. And so, that's kind of like the goal. Just survive, find stuff. And that's kind of also why I got tired of it at a certain point, because it's just like, unless you have, a co-op going on, or like a server maybe even, you can't just respawn in, hunt down your double, and then go from there. I mean, you probably can, but I don't know, because I didn't really realize this until now, but like, if you just keep playing over and over and over again, you eventually unlock parts of the map you've never been to. So then it's like, my double must have been there, the character I was playing before must have been there, because like there was this truck that I remember having, and I wanted to fix it up because it was practically broken everywhere else, and I crashed my other car, so I was down to one car that I could actually drive around. And so I was like, well, I want to fix up this truck. Everything was pretty much broken on it. It was barely able to move, but the only thing that was keeping it from actually being functional was a tire. And you could change tires really easily in the game. You don't need any mechanical skill or anything like that. And so then I could have gone around looting tires from abandoned trucks that I can't, hotwire or do anything with, and get into them. I think I'm gonna play as a burglar. I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna give it one more run because I think I owe the game that much. One more old try, college try to get the game to work. Not get the game to work, but get to a good spot in the game, because I was playing it. I got to a good spot. I had a house. I still had power and everything. I didn't think it was going to run out, but of course it did eventually. Yeah, I just kind of met an unfortunate end, and it really just kind of frustrated me, because it's like, okay, well, that's this run. Now I have now I have to restart over, in a sense. And I think you kind of have to, but something that didn't really strike me, and I haven't been able to find any of my last my characters that I was just playing last, but I'm pretty sure you can hunt them down and then kill them, and then you have all your stuff back, in a sense. So I'll have to see, because when I start up a new character, I died in a school, and I'm gonna pick the same place. And so if depending, if there's not a bunch of zombies dead around that area, if there's not a car, well, I guess the car wouldn't be there, but the house should still be loaded full of stuff. It should have some power, because it would be a fresh game. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe the map continues over. You get that like collective roguelite version of the game, because the map stays the same. You can still see everything that you saw before, or at least your character was around, stuff like that. But uh-oh, that was a little bit of lag. Hopefully I don't end up getting that stupid sound glitch now because of it. No, just a little bit of lag. But it's just really hard to get anything going. It's like you have to do a lot just to get like carpentry up there, and it's just not really easy to do by yourself. And so I don't know, I definitely, like, even the game itself sits there and says, you might want to do a co-op, a Steam co-op, or find a whitelisted server to join, because the game can be kind of hard in this new build. So there's that, I always like fighting the conveyor belt, It's like you can stand right on the little edge, but if you're not on the little edge, then you'll just end up sliding or being moved by the conveyor belt. Oh, that's a plane in my own life. I was like, what's that weird sound? It's my own plane. My own plane flying through there. Not my plane particularly, but a plane. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it another good old college try. I think I owe the game that much, and after I die on that one, then I think I'll give up. But even if it doesn't, like, I have a new formula, right? I have a new way, I think, of I'm gonna play, because usually it all starts out the same, except for this one custom map I think I ended up getting, which was Pit Stop. Pit Stop just has like random spawns. You just get thrown into like everything. But I'm not really sure where it's at, because I never really got far in any of those lives. Because one time I started Pit Stop because it was new, and I get into the world and immediately 6 zombies around me. I just spawned out in the middle of nowhere, like out in the middle of the street, and there was like nothing around me to use. Like, there was no cover. I was like in the middle of the street. Like, there was nothing around me besides zombies. That much was around me. zombies were around me. And so, sitting there trying to get started, that didn't work out. And of course it was the new build, and so in the old build you could totally just take on zombies with your hand. My favorite weapon actually was just my hands, because you could just push zombies over and stomp them to death, and it was really easy to do that because you always got like good pushes, and now in this new build you don't always get good pushes. So sometimes the zombie just won't go anywhere. You'll push them and they'll just shrug that shit off and not even move, and then you have to push them again and again, and then the zombie that was on the ground gets back up. It's a lot harder. It's a lot more, actual weapon focused. Like, you actually want to use weapons to take care of zombies, because you can't just push them down all the time and kill them. It doesn't work that way. But I like the new build. The new build offers exercise. You can now do exercises, although like everything's annoying. I'm gonna have to take a pause for the cause. Alright, look at that. Not quite perfect timing, but I do kind of like, the post commentary, because that was nice. I usually have to get up. I don't think you could hear the dogs barking, but the dogs went off, and so usually I have to get up, see why they barked, all that fun stuff. And it was nothing, but I kind of liked the post commentary, because I just pause the video, pause the audio recording, go see what the hell they wanted, and then go from there. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Project Zombie. I like it, don't get me wrong, I really like it, but it's just really hard to kind of get into, to get started. It's not easy, that's for sure. Especially this new build. The old build, easy for like solo play and stuff like that, but this new build, you definitely need like some friends or something to help out with this new build, because it is not easy, like, at all. Panic is definitely like a thing now. Before it was just like a nice little pop-up that happened, but now panic, it does something else other than just worsens your accuracy and stuff like that. With this new panic, you just can't like function as well. It's like, if you panic and your character panics, you're pretty much dead, in the water. So there's that. Also, I don't know, maybe it's just the angle that I was at, but I couldn't grab these plates. I want tier 2 conveyor belts, but you have to grab the iron plates, and I couldn't grab the iron plates. So I'll sit here, grab some more, because I kind of just wanted to make it all iron plates, but I don't have a whole bunch here. It hasn't made a whole bunch yet. But I guess for our video games outside of that, obviously League, I'm going to be putting up a couple League games, some ARAMs, some normal 5v5s, because the 5v5s I'm going to do because, I have a lot of, I guess, more or less interesting ideas that I want to try out with the 5v5s, like Glacial Augment Trundle. That worked out pretty well. I'm going to have to re-look up immobilizing effects, because, to me, a slow is immobilizing. You can't move as fast as you once did, or potentially at all, if the slow is strong enough. Because, if you think about a snare, it's just like 100% slow. Like, you just don't move, right? But with Trundle, the Glacial Augment would only proc if you actually hit them with the pillar. If you hit them with the pillar, then it bounces them, which makes them immobile. because then they have to finish the bounce first before being able to continue to move, and that will proc it. And it was alright. I think it's going to be really good with like tank Trundle more than anything else. But even as kind of like a skirmisher Trundle, it worked out pretty well because in ganks and team fights, they just did no damage, you know. They did no damage to my teammates. They could do damage to me, but I'm Trundle. I could sit there and fight you, you know. That doesn't, you know. Trundle's like one of the best 1v1ists, or I guess duelists, because against ADs, alright, I'll go with that much against ADs, because he can steal enemy AD, and like start is like 20, so you know, even against like somebody with high base attack damage, you steal 20 of it, which is like 20% or more from like your enemy laner at level 1. And then the W gives him more attack speed so that he can really beat your ass some more. His E makes it so that you can't get away, and then if you're unfortunate enough to fight him during his ult, during the time he has his ult, it just makes you super squishy because it steals your health, steals your resistances, and then burns you for max health. You know, that's why AP Trundle is a thing, because you can burn people for a percentage of their max health. So if it's like 50% and they're at 50%, you ult them, they're dead unless they get a heal. It's fun. It's not the best. I think if you're going to go AP Trundle, the best thing to do is to have like burns, obviously, like Leandre's, demonics, but then also to get like Nasher and Lichbane. Lichbane is really good because you can proc and consume you can activate it and consume the proc off of a Q, and even if not, you know, you have a W, the auto attack will come through and you can proc it there. But some things I've tried to get off recently, and I was just lagging and had really shitty teammates and everything else. It was mainly the lagging that was the issue, because if I wasn't lagging, I could have probably actually carried my games. But there's Glacial Augment Nunu. I always thought was fun because he already is like a speed demon as it is, so he just comes flying in with a snowball, hits the snowball, or hits his passive root. You know, when you hit things with snowballs, he gets that AoE root if you stay in it for long enough. Anybody who marks with a snowball will get rooted, which could proc it. So that's all fun there. And then, you know, I would, if I go glacial like that, I would go tank. That's what I tried to do. And in that game, it was actually like worth going tank because I was the only tank. In the second game, we had a Thresh, and of course, the Thresh, you know, he's support. He's not like ADC Thresh or anything. He's support Thresh, and he tells me to go tank, you know, and it's like, what do you do on Thresh besides go tank Thresh? And it's like, you would have been fine if you just went tank. Something interesting is going to come up here in the game, actually. You'll see in the game here in a second. A little interesting conundrum that I wonder if they'll ever fix. I don't know, I might post it to the subreddit, get some exposure maybe, but yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to figure out how to get this stuff to build faster, and look what you can do. That's right, I had 7 and now I'm down to 6. I don't think, I'll have to look at it to see if it has a higher percentage. No, it's still doing it at like 100%. You know, I guess it would be at 100%. I'll have to, I guess, rewatch it as another point, or if one of you guys want to comment and let me know, but I don't think it actually took the power shard, but it did take the power shard. It put it in to the overclocking part of the machine, but it did not. See, I don't have overclocking unlocked yet. I think I get it now, but I didn't have it unlocked before, and it still took a shard and put it into the overclocking place. I don't think it actually did do anything to the machine, because you have to usually drag the bar to get it to overclock, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the game still allowed me to put one in, even though I couldn't, because I didn't have the technology unlocked, but yeah, that's an interesting little thing that happened there. Outside of that, though, another League of Legends build that I was thinking about doing is First Strike Nunu, because again, really, at least in my elo, if I'm in like higher elo and they realize what I'm trying to do, they probably will throw an auto attack my way or something like that. And I do think it was working out a little bit, but you pretty much go just full AP move speed Nunu, which is still relatively tanky, and this is why, I told the Thresh to pretty much shut the hell up and to build tank yourself, because I mean, we were losing all over the board anyways. I had a Teemo top that got first blood against a top lane Ashe, and it's Teemo versus a top lane Ashe. So you would think you would just want to just stomp it. Like, he's obviously off to a decent start because it's Ashe, But she TP'd back, and she TP'd in front of the tower on the minion wave. It wasn't like she TP'd to the tower. And so, I pinged that I was on my way up to gank, because it's like, we can dive, I'll die, she might get a kill, but then you'll have 2 kills on top of her, and I would have reset her gold, so that when you kill her again, you're just a monster. You're 3-0, you have, your Leandres, and she can't even play at that point, all because I dove her. I gave her a little bit of money, but ultimately she's out of the game entirely. Of course, he doesn't say anything. I pinged that I was on my way up top to gank, like 2 minutes before I even got close to it to do it, and I was like, okay, we're on the same page, he's pushed up, he'll die with me. And after I commit to the dive, that's when he, like, pings me off. After I've committed to the dive, after I'm already at a point where it's like, I'm not going to survive. And I'm already dead to the tower, essentially. And then that's when he pings me to back out, and he's like, dude, what the fuck, you gave him double buffs. And it's like, yeah, but if you dove, you would have had the double buffs. You would have had 2 kills, you would have had extra money, it's like you would have had so much going on for you on your Teemo top lane if you just worked with me instead of fucking me over, essentially. But I digress, and again, it would be one thing if, like, after that fact, that, he could continue to, like, kill Ashe and became big, but he didn't. He didn't kill Ashe once after that dive. So it was like, I was still right in my thinking to do so, because not only would I have punished Ashe, she had no flash. Really, the only reason why the gank failed through was because Teemo wasn't there to kill her, because she didn't have flash. She already used flash. She just DP'd back. If he just followed with me in the dive, Ashe would have died. She would have had no sums. Teemo would have had reset gold on her. Like, it would have been really good for Teemo. But no, I'm the dummy. All he did after that was, he's Teemo. Of course he's gonna trade against some of the people, but he never killed Ashe again. Ashe ended the game with just the 2 deaths from Teemo that he managed to get. Or not even 2 deaths to Teemo. She died to me later on at one point in time. Not sure what I'm doing here. Yeah, I still have some time left. But he was just toxic, it wasn't like a, gee, thanks, for ruining my lane. Now it's gonna be hard for me to come back or anything like that. It was a, you stupid idiot, blah blah blah. And then he blamed me for the loss overall, because he couldn't manage to kill the enemy bot lane, which, you know, again, it was just like every lane was losing. Varus was like 0-6 for like the entire first half of the game, and then you know, he becomes like 2-8 at one point in time, and I was 1-6 because again I killed Ashe. So, and like it was so easy. Like bot lane was an Israel Yumi, and they were up against a Shaco with Ignite, or not Ignite, with Smite. If it was an Ignite, I would understand it. Here I am, bitching about Ada again, talking to me about relics that I don't care about. But you know, I'm sitting there, and Shaco has Smite. They have double Smite on their team, and Zac is the jungler. Zac was horrible. I dodged every one of his E's. He never hit me with any of his spells, besides maybe his like W, because I knew he had nothing else up. Otherwise, I was juking him, and I was trying my best to contest objectives. Like, I got both heralds, and I got 2 towers of, you know, the bonus objectives, or the catch-up, the bounty objectives. I got 2 of them like right away. I think this is when I noticed that my microphone wasn't working. But, you know, I tried my best to do stuff in there. I was lagging my ass off. Still got, you know, a smite in, because that's how I got the second herald, I believe, is I outsmited 2 enemy junglers with smite. And it's just like the Israel never bothered to ping when Shaco would leave lane, you know. And it's like, Shaco has smite. You know, how do you not know when an enemy laner is going to leave when they have smite and not tell anybody? Anyways, thank you guys for listening to me rant there at the end of it. This is the last time. Actually, here we are. I hate my life so much. How many? How many? Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. This probably won't even make it into the episode. I'll have to figure out how many episodes I actually recorded without my microphone going. I'm just not even...